As you can see, I'm surrounded by green. Well, I'm not surrounded by green, but we are sponsored by the good people at Wash and Go today. The lovely people at Wash and Go. What I'm on about, good people. And people often say to me, Mark, is it not hard being a Wash and Go ambassador? And I always have to reply to them like this. Being a rocket engineer is hard. Just ask Elon Musk. Being Manchester United manager is hard. Just ask the 4 managers that have taken over since Sir Alex Ferguson. Being an NHS worker, that's hard. Heroes. That is really hard. But being a shampoo ambassador is as easy as taking a bath. It really is. So next time you're having a really hard day, just run a bath, light some candles, put on some relaxing music and lather up with Wash and Go. Classic Wash and Go. You can pick up your bottle at any good retailer or by hitting the link in the description and getting it delivered straight to your door. Thanks very much to Wash and Go for supporting the United Stand. Now let's move on with the show. And remember, Wash and Go, it's invisible. It's invisible. Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to the United Stand. This is your Ralf Rangnick press conference reaction. The first one of the Ralf Rangnick era. Things are moving fast. We beat Arsenal last night. Michael Carrick has resigned. And now we have a manager that I would just say brings a smile to the face and also makes you very proud to have a manager that can actually sit there and control a room and also just speak to, I mean, literally control a room, speak to you in a way that's very learned and, control is a word that he used himself about what he wants to bring to Manchester United. There's so many things we need to go through, but reset, new Manchester United. I think that, look, it's interesting. I heard Teddy Sheringham on TalkSport this morning. I heard Patrice Evra last night, and they seem to be a little bit confused about what Manchester United are going to do. And Mason says, I love him already. And I think this is the thing. I've been I knew I wanted this, and I think many of you will agree. I knew I wanted a reset at Manchester United. I knew I wanted a new Manchester United. But I think this morning I realised how much I want it. It's a breath of fresh air. It's professional. You look at Chelsea, Liverpool and Man City. They've had this for a few years now. Obviously not Chelsea, they've only had it for a year. But it feels like Manchester United have finally joined the party. And he was there's some very interesting things to get into about whether he'd want the job full-time, transfers, what his thoughts were on the game last night. He spoke about the game last night twice. 3 times, actually. And basically said it wasn't good enough, but did it in a nice, constructive way. Which is exactly what we want, because I think last night was good to win, but there were things about the game that have been problematic for probably a year. So it's going to be very, very interesting. He was very honest. Rome is certainly not going to be built in a day. He's got a presence about him, says Simran. And Rangnick saying he's studying English to become a PT, which was such a boss statement, his asset. He also spoke about the people he's spoken to over the last, week. Michael Carrick leaving, etc. So loads for us to get into. But I think my initial reaction is that We've had Van Gaal, who was very erratic. We've had Mourinho, who was very arrogant. We've had Ollie, who at times just was out of his depth, in fairness, because he was inexperienced. You've now got a manager or coach or whatever his role is who, can answer any question. He even took the piss out of the question about Erling Haaland, which was a bad question. To ask him about Erling Haaland was a waste of a question. And he sort of took the piss out of that. He's in control. And he wants to bring, and he said 4 or 5 times, he wants to bring control to that Manchester United side. He said the game last night, you've got to remove that coincidence. And what he means by that game could have gone either way. It's entertaining to watch, but as a coach, you don't like the game like last night because it could have been 4-2 to United. It could have been 3-3. It could have been 3-2 to Arsenal. You've got to get control of that game as a coach. So, he was quite strict on that, and he will be quite strict on a lot of things. But you can tell straight away the way the journalists reacted to him, respect. The way the fans listened to him, respect. And the players are going to do that as well. So this is going to be a new era at Manchester United. No more of this ex-players speaking on a Saturday, about their mates and, he'll want that to happen. Oh, Ollie will be disappointed with that. Oh, this play. We're not going to get that sort of access to the team anymore because Rangnick's not mates with these ex-players. He's and to be honest, I think they'll turn on him much quicker than they did with Ollie if they get an opportunity. So keep your eyes open to that. But this is a new professional era at Manchester United with a man who basically said he wants the job. I don't know what your thoughts were about that, first of all. Brendan, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. Smash a like on the video. Fantastic interview from Ralf Rangnick. We're going to get into some of the detail now. Ray says, I'm very excited about Ralf. I feel we will turn the corner in the upcoming. We've spoken about this in great detail for the last couple of weeks. The style of football we're going to get is going to be front foot, possession, move the ball forward, but control, like he said, but it will take him time. He said, look, I haven't really got any training session this after, and he did say at the very start that, you know, he's excited and ready to get to work. This is the earliest press conference he's ever done, but he had to do it this early because there's so much to do between now and the Palace game. At 3 o'clock this afternoon, he'll be speaking to the players, but he can't really do any training ground work because of people who played last night. Can't really do a lot with them tomorrow because we're playing at 2 o'clock on Sunday. So, you know, he said the physical side of things, not just the next couple of days, but the next couple of weeks, maybe in the next couple of months. There's not a lot he can do on the physical side of things to change the fitness levels of the players because it's so dangerous in the middle of the season. So he can't really do a lot on the physical side, and he can certainly do something on the video side. And what he expanded on that was that I can show these players where they're going wrong and tell them what they shouldn't do. And look, this will be things like having a word with Harry Maguire and Lindelof when there's a runner, you know, one of you go with it. Or having a word with McTominay, specifically when he gets the ball, you've got 3 or 4 passes forwards and you're forever going backwards. So there's loads of things you can do around that, which isn't involving the physical side. It's great to have a coach who enjoys communicating with the public through the press, says Delicate Official. Who was with him in the presser, Mark? No one game. Well, it wasn't a European game. United has been playing reactively for the past few years. Loved how Rangnick said he wants to play proactively. Yes, there was a great line about that, Daniel. I actually tweeted it as well. You know, it's about playing proactive with and without the ball. Proactive to win the ball back, proactive to get near the goal when you've got the ball, which we knew would happen, but it is a total change. This is a total change. Like a total change in approach from Manchester United. Mark, thank you very much for the super chat. And he said he spoke 2 hours with Ollie last Sunday. Ollie deserved to leave, but I feel happy that he was ready to help. Ralph says Sarah. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment. We will talk about that moment, but there's a lot of things that I do want to talk about. But look, yeah, I think somebody just said it there. The thing we're going to get with Rangnick over the next few months is that we're going to get a manager that speaks to us about tactics. And for me personally, and I'm sure many of you, somebody who really enjoys the tactical side of game and has had that taken away from us for probably 3 or 4 years. This is going to be great because this manager wants to talk about the tactical side of the game. You get the feeling that before games and after games, he will talk about what went wrong and what went right. Whereas we've had it certainly for the last year where it's, well, I could talk to you about tactics all day, but let's talk about energy. And we have had that. Now, I don't know whether that's because Ollie didn't coach the team, probably, but he never felt comfortable talking about tactics, and the team never bloody looked comfortable playing with tactics. So that is going to change, of course it will, and it's going to be very interesting. But that proactivity is very, very key. Control is key. But let's go through some of the key points from the interview. So he was asked about the future. Now, where did I write this down? Long term. Yeah, okay. So I've got a page and a half of stuff to go through. So bear with me and I'll certainly be reacting with your questions. The sun is bright, says Jack. I'm feeling a bit better today as well. I didn't mention it much on the watch along last night. I felt rubbish, but I actually feel about 50% better. So the tide is turning, and Rangnick certainly gave me something to get up for this morning, as I'm sure he did with many of you. So smash a like on the video for Rangnick. This is his first video as Manchester United manager, and I'm very excited about it. And look, I had somebody saying to me yesterday that I wonder how long it'll be before you turn on Rangnick. And I'll just say this straight away. I'm not that United fan who win, lose or draw supports the team and supports the manager. I just don't do that. And you will never change me. And some people agree with me and some people don't. I support winning. That's what Manchester United's all about. I am a victim, or whatever you want to call it, a product of the Sir Alex Ferguson era, because I was a little kid when Sir Alex Ferguson took over Manchester United, and I was a grown man when he left. And throughout that whole period of him being in charge, it was about winning. Second place wasn't good enough. It was aggressive. It was spoils. It was bad losers. It was determination. It was ruthless. So I make no apologies. If Rangnick takes us down to mid-table in May and we're playing crap football, I'll say Rangnick out because I've got standards. So look, but I'm hopeful that I really do feel that we've got a really good manager here and somebody that we need to keep around the club because he talks. The big thing for me today is that we've not had somebody come out and talk about this football club and football in such depth and such knowledge and such an appealing manner since Sir Alex Ferguson left. You know, I don't think Van Gaal ever really intrigued me as much as Rangnick did in that interview, or Mourinho, certainly not Moyes or Ollie.